There is a quiet power that follows a chosen woman wherever she goes. It is not always loud, not always visible, but it is deeply felt. People may sense something different about her, an energy, a depth, a resilience that cannot be explained by ordinary words. She does not need to announce her strength. It reveals itself in how she walks through adversity, how she speaks with intention, and how she remains grounded in a world that constantly tries to shake her. Her life is shaped not only by what she shows, but even more by what she protects in silence. A chosen woman understands that privacy is not weakness, but wisdom. She knows that not every truth deserves an audience, and not every dream should be spoken aloud. Her secrets are not rooted in deception, but in discernment. They are the sacred boundaries that guard her peace, her purpose, and her inner world. These are the 7 secrets she keeps, not because she is afraid, but because she is aware of her worth. She never reveals the full depth of her pain. A chosen woman has walked through storms most people could not survive, and not the kind of storms that make noise for the world to witness, but the silent ones that tear through the soul while everything outward appears calm. She carries stories of heartbreak that taught her how fragile trust can be, betrayal that reshaped the way she understands loyalty, and disappointment that forced her to rebuild expectations from the ground up. These experiences did not pass through her life gently. They carved themselves into her memory, reshaped her perception, and demanded that she grow beyond who she once was. Yet despite the weight of everything she has endured, she does not narrate every wound to the world. She does not sit in public spaces unpacking every trauma, explaining every scar, or seeking constant sympathy. Not because she is ashamed of what she has been through, but because she understands that her pain is sacred. To her, suffering is not something to perform. It is something to process. She knows that certain battles are meant to be fought internally, not displayed externally. She has learned that oversharing can expose sacred experiences to careless interpretations. Some people listen without empathy, some listen only to judge, others listen to collect information they may later misuse. And so she becomes selective with her story. She understands that not everyone deserves access to her vulnerability. Her healing is not a public performance, it is a private ritual. Her growth does not require an audience. Her resilience does not need applause. She processes her pain privately, sitting with uncomfortable emotions long enough to understand them instead of running from them. She reflects in silence, analyzing her experiences not from bitterness, but from a desire to extract wisdom. Every heartbreak becomes a lesson. Every betrayal becomes discernment. Every disappointment becomes redirection. She turns pain into awareness, wounds into boundaries, and suffering into self-knowledge. This is the alchemy of a chosen woman. She does not allow pain to destroy her. She allows it to shape her into something stronger, wiser, and more grounded. Outwardly, people may see her as calm, composed, and emotionally controlled. They may assume life has been easy for her. They may mistake her silence for lack of experience, but they are wrong. Her silence is not emptiness, it is depth, it is discipline, it is protection. There are chapters of her life that only her soul remembers, moments she has cried through in solitude, prayers she has whispered in the dark when no one else was listening, and she keeps them close, not out of secrecy but out of reverence, because she knows that some stories lose their power when spoken too loosely. Some wounds deserve privacy. Some healing journeys require sacred space. Her pain is not hidden because she fears being seen. It is hidden because she honors the journey it took to overcome it. She understands that her resilience is not something the world needs to dissect. She carries herself with dignity, not because she has never broken, but because she learned how to rebuild quietly. And that quiet rebuilding, that unseen resilience, is where her true strength lives. 2. She keeps her future plans protected. Dreams are fragile before they are born. They exist first as delicate visions in the mind, soft possibilities in the heart, and hopeful intentions in the spirit. A chosen woman understands this deeply, because she has witnessed how easily doubt can suffocate ambition, and how quickly external negativity can contaminate something still in its early stages. She does not broadcast her next move to everyone around her, not because she lacks confidence, but because she values the sacredness of what she is building. She knows that not all ears carry good intentions, and not every smile hides support. Some people doubt silently, some envy quietly, some unconsciously project their own limitations onto others, and some, without meaning harm, speak fear disguised as advice. So she becomes intentional with her silence. She learns to protect her visions the way a gardener protects seeds before they sprout, shielding them from harsh winds, extreme exposure, and careless interference. She understands that when plans are still forming, they are vulnerable to external influence. Too much input too early can distort the original purpose. Too many opinions can dilute clarity. Too much explanation can weaken conviction, and so she chooses discretion, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. She works in silence, allowing discipline to replace announcements. While others speak loudly about what they intend to do, she quietly focuses on preparation. While others seek validation before taking steps, she commits to progress without seeking approval. Her growth happens behind the scenes, in early mornings when no one is watching, in late nights when the world is asleep, in private moments of dedication that will never be documented or praised publicly. She understands that true success is built when no one is clapping yet. This is why, when her plans finally unfold, they appear as destiny to others. People say she is lucky. They say things worked out perfectly for her. They say everything aligned magically. But what they do not see is the discipline that preceded the manifestation. They did not witness the consistency. They did not see the sacrifices. They did not observe the inner battles she fought to remain focused. Her success looked sudden only because her preparation was invisible. She also understands that silence gives power. When people do not know your next move, they cannot interfere with it. When they cannot predict your direction, they cannot sabotage your progress. When they are unaware of your timing, they cannot manipulate your momentum. By keeping her plans private, she remains energetically protected. She moves with autonomy rather than external pressure. Her vision remains pure, untouched by doubt, unpolluted by comparison. This does not mean she is secretive by nature. It means she is intentional with her energy. She shares selectively, only with those who have proven their loyalty, wisdom, and emotional maturity. She recognizes that dreams require safe environments to grow, and so she cultivates her future quietly, patiently, and strategically, knowing that when the time is right, her results will speak louder than any announcement ever could. 3. She never exposes how deeply she observes people. A chosen woman is a keen observer of human behavior, but this is not something she advertises. It is simply how she moves through the world with awareness, attentiveness, and quiet perception. She listens more than she speaks, not because she lacks thoughts, but because she understands the power of observation. While others are busy talking, explaining themselves, or seeking attention, she is watching. She notices patterns in behavior. She senses shifts in energy. She recognizes inconsistencies between words and actions. She hears what is said, but she also pays attention to what is avoided, what is softened, and what is hidden. Her awareness operates on multiple levels. She observes tone, timing, body language, emotional reactions, and subtle changes in behavior. She understands that people often reveal more through what they do unconsciously than through what they declare intentionally. Over time, this sensitivity becomes a form of emotional intelligence. She begins to understand who is sincere, who is performative, who is genuine, and who is wearing a mask. But she does not announce her awareness. She does not confront every observation. She does not expose what she perceives. Instead, she gathers information quietly and allows people to reveal themselves naturally. People often underestimate her awareness because she allows them to feel comfortable. She does not interrogate. She does not react dramatically. She does not challenge every inconsistency. She lets people speak freely. She allows them to behave naturally. And in that comfort, they show her exactly who they are. They assume she is not paying attention because she is not responding. They assume she is unaware because she is not reacting. But in reality, she is absorbing everything. Her mind becomes a quiet archive of interactions. She remembers how people treated her when they had nothing to gain. She notices who disappears when she needs support and who stays when there is no benefit. She recognizes who respects her boundaries and who subtly tests them. She observes who celebrates her growth and who becomes uncomfortable when she evolves. These observations are not used to judge others harshly, but to guide her decisions wisely. This silent observation protects her. It keeps her from being easily manipulated. It prevents her from being overly trusting too soon. It helps her choose her connections with intention rather than impulse. She does not give access blindly. She does not invest emotionally without clarity. She watches, evaluates, and discerns before she attaches. Her strength lies not in confrontation but in comprehension. She does not need to expose what she sees because awareness itself is power. She moves strategically, choosing when to speak, when to remain silent, when to stay, and when to withdraw. And because her observation happens quietly, people never realize how much she understands until it is far too late. She does not share the full extent of her spiritual journey. Her connection to her inner world, to God, to the universe, or to her purpose is deeply personal, and this is something a chosen woman understands intuitively. Spirituality, for her, is not a performance, not an aesthetic, and not a topic to be displayed for validation or approval. It is a living, breathing relationship that unfolds quietly within her. While she may speak about faith, growth, gratitude, or purpose in general terms, the most profound moments of her spiritual journey remain private, protected, and sacred. She understands that some experiences are meant to be honored internally rather than explained externally. There are moments in her life that words could never fully capture. The silent prayers whispered when her heart felt too heavy to speak aloud. The quiet revelations that arrived unexpectedly in moments of solitude. The inner shifts that changed the direction of her life without any external announcement. These moments were not meant for an audience. They were meant for her. They were moments of communion between her soul and something greater, whether she calls it God, destiny, intuition, or divine alignment. And she treats those experiences with reverence. She knows that sacred experiences lose their power when they are displayed carelessly. The more intimate the transformation, the more protection it requires. When spoken too openly, deep spiritual moments can be misunderstood, trivialized, questioned, or even mocked. She does not seek to defend her faith, prove her connection, or explain her growth to those who cannot comprehend it. She has learned that not everyone is meant to understand the path she walks. Some journeys are solitary by design. Her spirituality is reflected not in loud declarations but in quiet embodiment. It shows in how she treats others with compassion, even when she has been hurt. It shows in how she chooses peace over chaos, growth over stagnation, forgiveness over bitterness. It shows in the discipline she maintains when no one is watching and the integrity she carries when no one is applauding. Her beliefs are not worn as decoration, they are woven into her character. She understands that the deepest transformations often happen in silence. The most significant breakthroughs rarely happen in public spaces. They happen in solitude, in reflection, in moments of honest confrontation with the self. They happen when she chooses to release old versions of herself, when she surrenders what no longer aligns, when she listens to inner guidance rather than external noise. These are sacred acts, and she does not dilute them by seeking validation. Her prayers, her realizations, her internal rebirths, these are not stories for entertainment. They are milestones in her evolution. They are private altars she does not expose to public opinion. And because she protects her spiritual journey, it remains pure, undistorted, and powerful. Her faith does not weaken from overexposure. Her growth does not become performative. Her connection remains authentic, grounded, and deeply rooted within her. 5. She hides how often she doubts herself. Even the strongest woman has moments of uncertainty, and a chosen woman is no exception. Despite the composure she presents to the world, despite the resilience she demonstrates consistently, there are quiet moments when self-doubt creeps in. There are times when she questions her direction, her decisions, her worth, and her timing. But the difference between her and others is not that she never doubts. It is that she does not allow her doubts to define her or to control the narrative of her life. She experiences internal battles that no one else sees. In the privacy of her thoughts, she may revisit past mistakes, replay conversations, or wonder whether she could have done something differently. She may sit with uncertainty longer than she admits. She may wrestle with fear silently while appearing calm externally. But she does not live in these doubts. She does not surrender to them. She confronts them. Instead of allowing insecurity to weaken her, she uses it as a signal for reflection. She asks herself hard questions. She examines her motivations. She reassesses her alignment. She refines her path. Self-doubt becomes not a prison, but a tool for growth. It keeps her humble. It keeps her grounded. It forces her to remain self-aware rather than arrogant. The world rarely sees these moments of vulnerability because she does not collapse publicly. She does not allow her temporary uncertainty to become a permanent identity. When she feels herself wavering, she retreats inward rather than outward. She gathers herself in silence. She realigns with her purpose. She reconnects with her inner strength. And then she rises again, not dramatically, not loudly, but steadily and deliberately. Her strength is not rooted in perfection. It is rooted in perseverance. She does not pretend she has everything figured out. She simply refuses to let confusion stop her movement. She understands that growth is not linear. Some days she feels powerful and clear. Other days she feels unsure and overwhelmed. But even on those difficult days, she continues. She still shows up. She still tries. She still moves forward. This is the quiet resilience of a chosen woman. She does not seek sympathy for her internal struggles. She does not broadcast her insecurities. She handles her emotional weight with maturity and discipline, and because she does this privately, people assume she is always confident, always strong, always unshaken. They do not realize how many times she has had to rebuild herself internally before presenting strength externally. Her power lies in this. She does not deny her doubts, but she does not obey them either. She acknowledges them, learns from them, and then rises beyond them. That is real strength. She never fully reveals her emotional limits. A chosen woman loves deeply, but she also understands boundaries with profound clarity. Her heart is not careless, even though it is capable of great compassion. She does not reveal exactly how much she can tolerate, how much she can forgive, or how long she can endure. Not because she is manipulative, but because she is wise. She understands something many people learn too late. Some individuals will only respect limits when they are enforced, not when they are announced. She knows that if people are fully aware of how far they can push her, Some will test those limits intentionally. They will take advantage of her patience. They will stretch her kindness. They will assume her silence means tolerance, and her empathy means weakness. And so she becomes strategic with her emotional boundaries. She observes. She evaluates. She allows people to reveal their behavior over time. Her restraint is not emotional coldness. It is emotional intelligence. She gives chances, but she also takes notes. She forgives, but she remembers patterns. She understands that emotional endurance does not mean emotional submission. Just because she can handle a lot does not mean she should be expected to. She protects her capacity by not disclosing the full extent of it. When she finally walks away, people are often shocked. They say they did not see it coming. They assume her departure was sudden. But it was not. It was the result of long, silent consideration. It was the result of boundaries crossed too many times, respect diminished too often, and emotional weight carried too long. She did not leave on impulse. She left with clarity. This is why her absence is powerful. She does not threaten to leave repeatedly. She does not use distance as a tactic. When she reaches her limit, she simply disengages with dignity. No chaos, no drama, no announcement, just withdrawal. And by the time she leaves, she is already emotionally detached. She has already processed the loss internally. She has already accepted the reality privately. Her emotional discipline is misunderstood by many. Some see her as distant. Some see her as unpredictable. But in truth, she is simply self-protective. She knows her worth. She understands that emotional energy is sacred, and she refuses to allow anyone unlimited access to something so valuable. She protects the softest parts of her heart. Beneath her strength lies a gentle, sensitive core that few people ever get to see. A chosen woman may appear composed, grounded, and emotionally controlled on the surface, but within her lives a depth of feeling that is profound. She feels deeply. She cares intensely. She loves sincerely. Her empathy is not shallow. Her compassion is not performative. When she connects with her whole heart. But she does not give everyone access to this part of herself. She has learned, often through painful experience, that not everyone deserves the privilege of her vulnerability. Her softness is not weakness, it is power, and power must be protected. She understands that when her heart is exposed to the wrong people, it can be misunderstood, mishandled, or exploited. So she becomes discerning with who gets to see her most delicate side. She does not rush emotional intimacy. She observes consistency before offering trust. She watches actions over time rather than believing words in the moment. She allows people to earn their place in her inner world rather than granting access too easily. Her vulnerability is not given freely. It is shared intentionally. To those who earn it, her heart is a sanctuary. She is loyal beyond convenience. She supports without condition. She loves with depth and sincerity. But those privileges are reserved only for those who have demonstrated integrity, respect, and emotional maturity. She does not entertain superficial connections with deep emotional investment. She values depth over attention. Her guarded heart does not mean she is closed. It means she is selective. It means she understands her worth. It means she refuses to pour herself into spaces that cannot hold her. She no longer chases connection at the expense of self-respect. She no longer explains her softness to those who cannot appreciate it. She simply protects it quietly. And because she guards her heart wisely, the love she offers remains pure rather than depleted. Her emotional energy remains strong rather than exhausted. Her capacity for connection remains intact rather than broken. She does not become bitter. She becomes intentional. Her heart stays open, but only for those who prove they are capable of handling something so rare and so valuable. A chosen woman is not defined by how much she reveals, but by how intentionally she lives. Her secrets are not walls, they are boundaries. They are the sacred spaces where her power grows, her purpose matures, and her soul remains protected. This is the Woman of Light channel. If this message resonated with you, if it felt like it found you at the exact moment you needed it most, I invite you to subscribe for more content like this, and type 1111 in the comment section as a symbol of alignment, gratitude, and divine blessings flowing into your life. Thank you for watching.